Shalom, Yashallah. His brother Mapai thought that'd be key, but in the ancient Paleo Hebrew. And this is gonna be just a quick video, just going into the ministry of reconciliation. You understand, right? Going into the Israelites, right, who went far off and went astray, right, sacrificing unto idols, right? Just overall, just being disobedient and forsaking the Lord, right? We're now reconciled through Yahawashi. You understand? So it's gonna be a quick video through the Spirit, right? Before we go into it, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to YAHAWAH by Shema Mashiach wa Malak Yahawashi. That's all praises, honor, and glory to the Most High God, whose name YAHAWAH, in the name of His only begotten Son, who the world were ignorantly called Jesus Christ. We know Him as Yahawashi in the ancient Paleo Hebrew, right? The Anointed, the Messiah, right? The King of Yashallah. And yeah, it's gonna be a super quick video. I just want to dive into this thing through the Spirit. This 2 Corinthians chapter 5 and verse. I'm gonna start from 17. It says, "Therefore, if any man be in Yahawashi, he is a new creature," right? Old things are passed away. Behold, all things are become new, right? And it says, "And all things are of the Most High, who have reconciled us to Himself by Yahawashi." Reconciled, you understand? Let's go into that word reconcile, because this is a key point. Because you have a lot of people that would say, even Israelites, that would say the New Testament, right, is written into actual heathen, right, actual Gentiles, right? But the Lord was never dealing with actual Gentiles. You understand? So why would they have to be reconciled through Yahawashi? It doesn't make sense, right? And in the letter of the Corinthians, Paul was speaking to Israelites that were in Corinth, right? And this is just plain, right? So I'm gonna go into that word reconciled and go into the definition. It says, to change, exchange as coins for others of equivalent value. Obviously, that's not the definition that's being used in this context. It says to reconcile, right? It says, and this is a heavy definition: return to favor with, be reconciled to one. So we return to favor with the Most High through His Son Yahawashi, right? Because before we didn't have favor in the Lord's eyes, because we sacrificed unto idols, right? Because we were idol worshipers, right? Because we turned our back on the Lord. But now we were reconciled through belief in Yahawashi, right? So it says return to favor with, to be reconciled to one, right? And how could the heathen that never had a covenant with the Most High be reconciled unto the Most High, right? How could they return to favor with the Most High if the Most High was never dealing with them? You understand? So when it's speaking about the ministry of reconciliation, it's speaking about the Israelite foreigners being reconciled back into the Most High God through His Son Yahawashi, right? So I want to read this again in 2 Corinthians 5 and 18. It says, "All things are of the Most High, who reconciled us unto Himself by Yahawashi, and have given to us the ministry of reconciliation," right? To wit, that the Most High was in Yahawashi, reconciling the world unto Himself, not imputing their trespasses unto them, right? So even though we trespassed in the past, you understand, it wasn't imputed unto us, right? And it says, "and have committed unto us the word of reconciliation." And that's all through Yahawashi. We're now reconciled unto the Most High, right? And let's go to Ecclesiastes. It's not what I want. Let's go to Ephesians 2, right? And it reads real quick. I want to just touch on this point, just for edification's sake, through the Spirit, just to show that the Corinthians are Israelites, right? And it's plain, right? And let me get this point first in 1 Corinthians 12, right? So this is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 12 and verse 2, and it reads, Salaki, I'm gonna read from verse 1. It says, "Now concerning spiritual gifts, brethren," right? And who are Paul's brethren? You could go to Romans chapter 9 verse 1 on down, and you can clearly see that the Israelites according to the flesh are his brethren, right? But I'm gonna read on. It says, "I would not have you ignorant. Ye know that ye were Gentiles." So we were Gentiles. We were carried off into idols, right? We were turning our back on the Most High, right? We did walk contrary to the words of the Most High. That's why we were likened unto Gentiles. So it says, "Ye know that ye were Gentiles, carried away unto these dumb idols, even as you were led, right? So we were Gentiles, but now we're reconciled through Yahawashi. We're not in a Gentile mindset anymore. That's why he said ye were Gentiles. If this is speaking about actual heathen, they can't just say, okay, I'm a heathen, I'm a damn Moabite, I'm a damn Edomite, and then next thing you know, they can become an Israelite, right? Because it's a bloodline, right? So this is not what this is going into, right? This is speaking about the Israelite foreigners who went astray, and now we're reconciled through Yahawashi, right? And now they can come back into the covenant. And we're going to read about that in Ephesians, but let me get this real fast too, just to make it plain. So this is 1 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 1, and it says, moreover, brethren, I would not that you should be ignorant, how that all our fathers, right? And Paul, pursuing the Romans 11 and verse 1, is an Israelite, right? From the tribe of Benjamin. So he said all of our fathers. So he had to be speaking to Israelites, because only Israelites would share the same forefathers as him, right? And I'm going to make it more plain, right? Because somebody might hear that and say, well, what about Abraham, right? Or what about we come from Adam, right? But check this out. It says how that all our fathers were under the cloud, right? And all passed through the sea. Hey, so now you know what forefathers he's talking about. You understand our Israelite forefathers, right? Because our forefathers are the ones that were under that cloud, right? And our forefathers were the ones that were that passed through the Red Sea. You understand? And were all baptized unto Moses in the cloud and in the sea, and did all eat the same spiritual meat, and did all drink the same spiritual drink, for they drank of that spiritual rock that followed them, and that rock was Yahawashi. You see that? That's plain upon tables. Now I want to go to Ephesians. So we know that the letter of Corinthians were written to the Israelites, right? It's Ephesians chapter 2, and this whole thing is good. I'll actually read from the top, right? This is Ephesians chapter 2 and verse 1, and it reads, and you have he quickened who were dead in trespasses and sins, right? And who was given the law, right? Who was giving the law, right? Israel was giving the law. That's plain, right? And we were dead in trespasses and sins, right? And sin is the transgression of the law. So for you to be dead in sin, you have to transgress the law, right? And the law was only given to Israel, right? So reading on, it says, we're in times past, you walked according to the course of this world. So in times past, we were going off. We went astray. We walked contrary to the laws of the Most High, right? We served idols, right? It says, according to the prince of the power of the air, the spirit that now worketh for the children of disobedience, which is the spirit of Satan. It says, among whom also we all had our conversation in times past in the lust of our flesh, fulfilling the desires of the flesh and of the mind, and were by nature the children of wrath, even as others. Right? So we were going off. It says, but the Most High, who is rich in mercy, for his great love wherewith he loved us. Right? Because he loved Israel. It's plain. It's all throughout the scriptures. Who did the Most High love? He loved Israel. He didn't love any damn heathen that were going off and went astray. It wasn't, hey, the heathen weren't trespassing against the Lord. Right? The heathen were sinning against the laws of the Most High, because the law was given unto Israel. Right? And we're the ones that the Lord loved. You can read about that in Romans 9 and 13. Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. You understand? So reading that again, verse 4, it says, but the Most High, who is rich in mercy, for his great love wherewith he loved us, Israel, even we were dead in sins, have quickened us together, right, with Yahawashi. By grace ye are saved, right? So now we're given life again through Yahawashi. That's us being reconciled through Yahawashi, right? And it says, and have raised us up together and made us sit together in heavenly places in Yahawashi, that in the ages to come he might show the exceeding riches of his grace and his kindness toward us through Yahawashi. For by grace are ye saved through faith, and that not of yourselves, it is the gift of the Most High, not of works, lest any man should boast, right? It says, for we are his workmanship, created in Yahawashi unto good works, which the Most High have before ordained, This is already ordained from the beginning, right? Hey, speaking about the Israelites, that we should walk in them. You understand? That's plain. It says, wherefore remember that ye being in times past Gentiles in the flesh, right? So due to our works, due to us worshiping idols, due to us going astray, due to us just being dead spiritually, right? We were seen as Gentiles. It says who are called uncircumcision, right? By that which is called the circumcision in the flesh made by hands, right? And we were called the Israelite foreigners, I should say, those that went astray, right? They were called uncircumcision by the Jews that still knew who they were, right? By the Jews that still understood that they were Israelites, that still were so-called righteous in their own eyes because they still had the law of Moses. You understand? It says that at that time you were without Yahawashi, right? So we were without Yahawashi, man. We went astray, right? And we were without Yahawashi. So, hey, we had no way to be reconciled unto the Lord, right? It says being aliens from the commonwealth of Israel. That's how you know it's speaking to Israelites, right? Because we went astray and we became aliens to the commonwealth of Israel. This is plain, man, right? But you got bug outs that are trying to take these scriptures and twist them up, man. But when it's really plain, right? It says, and strangers from the covenants of promise. And who is that? Who was given the covenant with the Most High? The Israelites, right? We became strangers to the covenant, right? By going astray and having no hope without the Most High in the world. But now in Yahawashi, ye who were sometimes were far off are made nigh. We're reconciled, right? We're made nigh once again by the blood of Yahawashi. It all goes into the same things. The Israelites, they went off, they went astray, they worship idols. But now through Yahawashi, they can be reconciled back into the covenant. That's what that's going into, right? And I want to jump down just to get that point. Verse 16, and that he might reconcile both unto the Most High in one body by the cross, having slain the enmity thereby, right? So we're reconciled into this thing, right? And this whole chapter is actually good, but I just wanted to really get that point. Well, let's go to Romans 3. So, right, so that's what Paul is talking about, and when he speaks about the ministry of reconciliation, reconciling the Israelite foreigners, or those I should say, who went off and went astray from the laws of the Most High God, from the word of the Most High, just going astray from the Most High and forsaking the Most High God in general. We can now be reconciled through Yahawashi. That's the ministry of reconciliation, right? And this is Romans chapter 3 and verse 23, and it reads, "For all have sinned," right? So it's a lot of this is good, right? But I'm gonna start for 23. It says, "For all have sinned and come short of the glory of the Most High," right? "Being justified freely by His grace through the redemption." We're redeemed. That is in Yahawashi. But we all went off. We all fell short of the glory. But we were reconciled. We were redeemed by Yahawashi. Right? It says, "Whom the Most High have set forth to be a propitiation through faith in His blood." Let's go into that word propitiation. Right? And it says, a mean of appeasing. Let's see. Propitiation. It says relating to an appeasing or expiating, having placating or expiating force, right? It says used of the cover of the ark of the covenant in the Holy of Holies, which is sprinkled with the blood of the expiatory victim on the annual day of atonement, the rite signifying that the life of the people, the loss of which they had merited by their sins, was offered to the Most High in the blood as the life of the victim, and that the Most High by His ceremony was appeased and their sins expiated, right? So He was that ultimate sacrifice. That's pretty much what's going into, right? It says, "Whom the Most High have set forth to be a propitiation through faith in His blood, to declare His righteousness for the remission of sins that are past through the forbearance of the Most High," right? And let's go to, let's see if this is what I want. I believe it's Hebrews 10. Yeah, this is good. This is what I want. Let's start from 10. It's Hebrews 10 and 10. It says, "By the which will we are sanctified through the offering of the body of Yahawashi once and for all." Right? All right, this whole chapter is good too. Right, and it says, and every priest standeth daily ministering and offering oftentimes the same sacrifices which can never take away sins. And it's going into the sacrifice of bullocks, right, the goats, right, sacrificing of the cattle, right. They never actually really took away sins. They never actually purged your conscience, right. It says, but this man, speaking about Yahawashi, after he have offered one sacrifice for sins forever, sat down on the right hand of the Most High. Right, from henceforth expecting till his enemies be made his footstool, Salakia. And it says, for by one offering he hath perfected forever them that are sanctified. Wherefore the Holy Spirit also is a witness to us. For after that he has said before, this is the covenant that I will make with them after those days, said the Lord. I will put my law into their hearts, and in their minds will I write them. And you know who this is speaking about, because the Lord told us that only this new covenant is only made for Israel. Right, real fast. Let's go back a couple chapters. Right, and this is Hebrews chapter 8 and verse 8. It says, for finding fault with them, he said, behold, the days come, said the Lord, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. So that's plain. That's the covenant we're reading about, right? The new covenant, right? And it says, so going back to Hebrews 10, it says, this is the covenant, 10 and verse 16. This is the covenant that I will make with them after those days, said the Lord. I will put my laws into their hearts, and in their minds will I write them, and their sins and iniquities will I remember no more. Now where remission of these is, there is no more offering for sin, right? And it says, having therefore, brethren, boldness to enter into the holiest, right, meaning to come before the Lord by the blood of Yahawashi. Right now we're bold to come before the Lord through the blood of Yahawashi. Right, even though we were going off. It says by a new and living way which he have consecrated for us through the veil. Right, because before you had to actually go through an actual physical veil to come before that mercy seat. Right, but on a spiritual level, Yahawashi's flesh represented that veil. Right, because when Yahawashi gave up the ghost, right, through him, now we're able to come before the Lord on a spiritual level. Right, it says that is to say his flesh. Right, and it says, having an high priest over the house of the Most High, let us draw near with a true heart and full assurance of faith, having our hearts sprinkled from an evil conscience, right, and our bodies washed with pure water, right, and that's the point. Now through Yahawashi we can come before the Lord again. We were reconciled unto the Lord, right, and I just had another precept in mind, right, Salakia. I don't have nothing written down. We just kind of just flowing through the spirit, and I want to remember this precept through the spirit. Right? Salakia, bear with me. Let's go to John. It's not what I wanted, but I'll bring this out as well. Right? Because we were resurrected, we're brought back to life through Yahawashi. Right? So this is John chapter 11 and verse 25, and it reads, and this is on a spiritual level, right, and also on a physical level, the saints of the Lord, right, the elect, they're going to be beamed up and actually resurrected on a physical level in the last days, right? But this is John chapter 11 and verse 25, and it reads, Yahawashi said unto her, I am the resurrection and the life. He that believeth in me, though he were dead, right, because we were dead spiritually, right, through our sin, right, yet shall he live. But through Yahawashi, right, you believe in Yahawashi, you're made alive again, you're quickened. You understand? And it says, and whosoever liveth and believeth in me shall never die. Believest thou this? Right? And the point is, hey, we were dead spiritually, right? We were dead to our sin. You understand? But through Yahawashi, we're made alive again. We're brought back into the Most High God. And that gives us life. You understand? So that's the ministry of reconciliation. Being reconciled to the Most High through the blood of Yahawashi. You understand? And Lord willing, this is edifying through the Spirit. Lord willing, brothers and sisters got the understanding thereof. Right, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, by Hashem Yahawashi. Right, and I want to give a mighty shalom to the mighty Akim wa Akwat that tuned in and listened to the words of the Lord. Shalom, Yashala.